Today I'm here with Ron Marcotte of the junior golf program. Ron is agreed to appear on Carleton TV today. And Ron, welcome. And I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got here.
Sure. Not sure how far you want me to go back, John, but I've watched some of your other videos, so I've had and they're excellent, by the way. I'm into my third year of retirement now. I retired in 2019. I live Riverside South with my wife Angela, who I've been married to now for almost 20 years, and my 16-year-old son Josh, who I think probably knows more people at the golf club than I do now, because Josh is he's into his 6th year as a junior and his 3rd year working in the back shop. So he's pretty much at the golf club 7 days a week, either working or playing. So retired 3 years ago. I was a vice president in healthcare for several years, and so nice to be retired now and hoping to actually start to play a little bit more than I have been over the years. Just occurred to me the other day when I was playing with the guys that this marks my 30th year at Carleton. So I joined as an intermediate back in 1992. So wow. I hadn't realized that until the other day. But yeah, so 30 years at the golf club. So time flies.
Well, you're. I know as a former junior coordinator myself, I in my first year, I was given the task of being the. Just going to move my mic in here in place. It might sound a little better. I was going to be helping out Ron Rollo do the junior program. Well, the next thing I know, Ron Rollo is leaving the club, and I'm the junior coordinator. So I was stuck in that role my first year, and I took it on for 10 years, and I really enjoyed it. But it was, it was an interesting thing. But I had my kids coming in to the program. Now, how did you become the junior coordinator? What happened here?
So I 3 years ago. I was approached, I think at the time, by Ron Drosky, who was the former club captain, and also by Jeff Hall, who was the incoming club captain, and Glenn Coyle. So I was approached because Glenn was stepping back after doing it for many years, and Glenn did a really great job, as I think everybody knows, and he was really committed, he and his wife, to the junior program. So they had a vacancy and asked if I wouldn't mind stepping up. And given my son is pretty invested in the junior program, I was happy to help out. And it's been kind of a weird 3 years, because I guess this year really is the first year that it kind of feels like we're able to get back into a normal program. The last 2 years, obviously, because of COVID, really put up some barriers with respect to some of the things that have been done in the past. And so this year we're able to sort of return to normal as best we can. So I feel like I'm really starting it this year more than the last couple of years. But so just was asked if I wouldn't mind stepping in. And as I say, I've been at the golf club for a lot of years, and I haven't been part of any boards or anything like that, always because I was just too busy with work and that. But now that I'm retired and have a little bit more time, I'm happy to do so.
All right. So when do the juniors play? When's their designated time?
Yeah. So the juniors have priority on the tee. And this is per the bylaws or the different rules and regulations that have been in place for years on so they have priority on the tee on Saturday afternoons between 1 and 3. So really what that means is they've got sort of first right of refusal on those tee times for that 2-hour block. And they have the ability to put their ballots in 7 days in advance. So what we do in that regard is Tyler keeps a close eye on the sheet, and 24 hours before the Saturday, any tee times that aren't booked by the juniors are then opened up and released to the rest of the membership, just so that we're not wasting any tee times. So they also have, they can also obviously play during the week. And as it currently stands now, the rules are 3 days advanced booking for junior members, subject to restrictions, for leagues and things like that. So for example, men's league, on Wednesdays, there's really no opportunity for them to be able to book because it's pretty full. But so so there's still plenty of opportunities for them to get out. I think this year we are, at last count, I think we're at about 100 junior members.
Wow!
Which
wow.
no, it's I think we were sort of close to that number last year as well. In fact, I think the last couple of years the numbers really picked up, mostly because golf was one of the few sports that wasn't canceled, right, as a result of so your soccers and your baseball leagues and things like that were all shut down, and so we were kind of the only game in town, and it provided a bit of a a resurgence for a lot of juniors to join. I know a lot of my son's friends who play at, a lot of them joined over at some different golf courses. They didn't like golf until COVID hit, and then they decided they were bored, so they wanted to play some golf and that. So and I think this year too, just looking at the numbers, I think about 2/3 of our junior membership are returning members, and so we have about 35 brand new juniors as well. And then some of them have outgrown the junior membership or outaged it, I guess, and many of them have stuck around as intermediates as well. So that's really great.
So what has the addition of Gary Graveline meant to the program? He's one of his responsibilities is the junior program. What are your plans, or how are you guys plan to use him, and how is he going to be helping that program out?
Yeah, so lots of changes in the golf operations area this year with Gary just coming aboard, and obviously Tyler is here now, and so Tyler and I have chatted a lot since he's come aboard. And one of the priorities has been to get the clinics back up and running, because again, in the last couple of years, the pro shop staff really weren't able to do the types of group sessions and things like that they've done in the past. All they could really do is limit the number of kids that were on the tee block, and then just sort of walk the line and help them with that. And so the last couple of weeks now with Gary aboard, they've been able to get those clinics going again, and so that's been great. And it's a bit of a work in progress. We're going to see how things move along in the coming weeks, and Tyler's got some ideas as I'm sure Gary does, and they're going to adjust. But the last couple of weeks, we started with the clinics where they've run clinics before the 1 o'clock tee times. And, so for example, we had, I think about, 10 or 15 kids out a couple of weeks ago doing chipping out on the back practice range. And the other thing, they took advantage of too. And, Tyler was doing a great job explaining to the kids, not only about chipping and that, but also just the whole issue of etiquette on the golf course and reminding them of the dress code and that sort of thing. And we were able to, with COVID not being a problem this year, we were able to return to the in-person orientations. And so we had an orientation for the juniors back in early May. We had about 40 show up for that. And so we were able to do a full presentation of all kinds of stuff that the juniors need to know with respect to not just the program, but all the club rules, right? So how you treat the golf course, safety on the golf course, the lightning alarm system, fixing divots, all that kind of stuff, and the dress code, which is always a big issue, tucking in the shirts, wearing the hats backwards, things like that. So we were able to spend a good hour and a half with the kids and their parents that came, and we went through all of that kind of stuff, in addition to just things about the program and some of the events that we're hoping to run. And what I think is really important, Tyler did a great job, demonstrating the use of the website, right? Booking tee times, establishing your handicap, putting in your scores, things like that. So we were able to do all that. We used a simulator screen upstairs for the orientation, and so Tyler was able to do all that with the kids, which was great, because those are issues that are important, especially for competitions and that they need to understand why they need to establish appropriate and accurate handicaps, and and how to do it in the system. So we got to cover a lot, and it was just nice to be able to do it face to face. The last couple of years I had to do it by email and sort of newsletters, and it's just not the same. Some of the kids you never ended up meeting the whole season, right? So
yeah, I know that's important, that meeting your juniors. Now, for the more competitive juniors, I know one of the big things when I was a junior coordinator were the intersectionals. When are the intersectional trials, and what other junior competitions do you see coming forward for them?
Yeah, so you'll see on the playing calendar, we've got intersectional qualifying on June 25th, 26th, and July 2nd. Still working out a little bit of the detail on that, but what we've done in the past is, the kids who want to qualify have to play at least 2 out of those 3 rounds, and it's their best Stableford scores of those rounds. So those are the qualifying dates, and then the actual tournament is at the Royal Ottawa on July 31st. Now we're still in the A division, and that's the one thing about Carleton's juniors over the years is we've had lots and lots of success. We've won, and I guess Glenn could talk about this better than I could, because most of that was under his, when he was running the things. But so we've been in the A division for several years now. Last year we had a bit of a tough go at the Royal, but we managed to hang on. We finished 3rd, so we stayed in the A division, and it was tough because every member of our team had never played the Royal Ottawa golf course before, so that was their first time. Because again, in COVID, they used to allow practice rounds, but with COVID, they didn't permit it. So it was, that's a different type of golf course than a lot of our kids are used to. But so we're back there again this year, and I think based on some of the kids that we have, new kids, and that we should be able to field a pretty competitive team, and hopefully we can stay up in the A division.
So it's a one-day event now. It used to be with whatever group you were in, you'd play one match at everybody else's club, but now it's just a one-shot deal.
Yeah, I think it's been like that for years. So I know Carleton hosted it years ago. So we're in a grouping with the Royal, obviously, as the host club, Rideau View, and Canada.
Very good. Well, we wish you the best of luck in that. I know it's a lot of fun for the kids and to get some competition. And what other competitions have they got coming up in the OVGA and abroad? Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, we've got the Junior Club Championships as well at our club. And so that event's scheduled for June 23rd and 24th. We obviously encourage all the kids to participate in that, no matter what their skill level, just to learn, about playing in tournaments, the competition. And we also want to make sure that, they're put in the appropriate fees for that. Carleton is also hosting, as they've done the last several years now, a stop on the Play Junior Golf Tour. It's a junior golf tour where they play all over Eastern Ontario, and so I think we're hosting that on I think it's August the 8th, and it's a bit of a revenue opportunity for the club as well. But there's a whole bunch of OVGA events, as you mentioned as well. Golf Ontario, Golf Canada, and I know we've already had some juniors participating in some of those tournaments so far.
Who are your top juniors doing? Who should we be looking out for when we read the papers
yeah, I mean, so we have a new junior member this year, and I've only had the opportunity to meet her once, and it's a Lauren Gervais, who I want to say she used to be a member at Rideau View. I can't say that for sure, but I understand she's heading out on a golf scholarship this fall.
Wow.
To, I think it's Davenport University. So Lauren is a very, very good player, and I think she's had some really good results so far in her tournaments. And so what I'm actually in the process of doing is getting all of those results from the different kids that have been playing in the tournament so far, so that we can get that information out among the membership, because we've had some some top 10s and top 5 finishes with some of our male golfers, Shane Stanley, my son Josh. I don't want to leave anybody out, but and Lauren, of course, has played in several tournaments as well. So I'm just compiling that info now so that we can kind of keep track of that through the year and let people know how they're doing.
Yeah, it'd be good for us to know so we can follow the
for sure
young people. Now, one thing for us grandparents out there, we'd like to know: are we going to have junior camps this summer?
Yeah, so bit of a better question for Tyler, but he and I have touched base about it. Just again, because there hasn't been any for the last couple of years for obvious reasons. I know he's looking into it, and he'd like to do pull that together. And I know he's reviewing it right now to see if we can get that up and running again, because I think that was a good opportunity for the club in past years. And that, so I think the plan is that I don't want to say yes, because I don't want to say yes on his behalf, but I think he would like to, and he's definitely looking into it and that. But it's something that he and I have on our calendar to talk further about, for sure.
Well, I hope they make a decision soon, because it's coming up on mid-June, and most parents are making a decision as to what they're going to do with their children this summer.
They can just put them at the grandparents.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's a good idea. Anyway, listen, Ron, is there anything else you'd like to add? It's been a great interview. Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think all we're really trying to do is we're trying to, some of the kids, as want to play more competitively. Some just want to play. And so that's what we're focusing on, is trying to, grow the game a bit for the kids that just want to get out and play. And for those that want to play more competitively, we're trying to encourage them to play in more tournaments and things like that. And some of our stronger juniors are participating, in the men's qualifying and or the club championships, as long as their handicaps allow them to do so. So it's important, but I think I'll have to say these kind of things that you do are really helpful to the juniors, because I encourage them to watch a lot of the videos that you've been producing, which helps me out to make sure that they're understanding the different protocols, whether it be in the sand trap or whatever. So these are really great, and so we try to communicate with them. I try to send a weekly update to the parents and the kids, just on little things, just to keep people informed. But all I would say to the membership too is that if you encounter any of the juniors, help them out if you can, because it's golf's an intimidating game, as we all know it, no matter what age you can be at. But a lot of them are just learning. They don't want to make mistakes. They're not doing things sometimes on purpose. Maybe they just don't know. So as members, if we can help them all out, make them feel a little bit more comfortable, they're potential gold members down the road, right? So, that, and if you get a chance to play with any of them, that would be great too. Because they're often looking for games sometimes, and they're just, because they don't know a lot of people, they're that. So I appreciate the time, and I really appreciate these videos that you do. They're excellent.
Thank you, Ron, and I wish you the best of luck with the program this year. And be sure to keep us updated on how your troops are doing. All right.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.